Understanding shared risk and protective factors of violence can help us plan how to prevent multiple forms of violence at once. Violence prevention and intervention efforts that focus only on one form of violence can be broadened to address multiple connected forms of violence and increase public health impact. For example, organizations working on child abuse and neglect, intimate partner violence, youth violence, and suicide prevention could work together on strategies that decrease families' economic stress. Since economic stress is a shared risk factor across these types of violence and other types of violence as well, pulling resources to take action on this shared risk factor could have a broad violence prevention impact in the community. Also, knowing that experiencing one form of violence can increase families' and individuals' risk for other forms of violence can help practitioners develop services and strategies that would have the most impact for their clients. For example, practitioners working with families to promote positive parenting and prevent child abuse and neglect may recognize that families are also experiencing risk factors that are linked to intimate partner violence. They will provide screening and referral services as help for the mothers to ensure they are receiving the support they need to prevent future violence. Practitioners can address the unique aspects of a form of violence while still supporting action whenever possible. Some activities might be specific to a particular form of violence, but ideally are part of a larger effort to address shared risk or protective factors. Understanding how different forms of violence are linked to one another is an important first step in coordinating strategies, activities, and resources to effectively prevent multiple forms of violence. This understanding might increase support for blended funding streams and additional infrastructure for increased collaboration, which would strengthen efforts as a whole. Together, we can make a difference in preventing all forms of violence in our lives, families, relationships, and communities. Effective prevention efforts address common risk and protective factors, reduce overall violence, and make communities safer. As the relationships among multiple forms of violence become clearer, it's increasingly important for practitioners and researchers to consider these linkages in their work. If you haven't already, please take some time after this training to discover the connection selector and explore notes from the field.